Hi, I'm Chris Atkins, President of the CAT Company and co-founder of groupofnations.com. Thank you for watching, and if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, then please click on the subscribe button for information about these very important global summits. On April 16th, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, as the holder of the G20 presidency, pledged $500 million to relevant international organizations to support global efforts in combating the COVID-19 pandemic. This pledge is in support of international emergency and preparedness responses, development and deployment of new diagnostic and therapeutic and vaccines, fulfillment of unmet needs for international surveillance and coordination, and to ensure sufficient supplies of protective equipment for health workers. This contribution by Saudi Arabia comes in response to the commitment made during the G20 Leaders Summit meeting in March, where the G20 leaders agreed to mobilize the necessary funds for international organization response programs. Of the $500 million, Saudi Arabia will allocate $150 million to the Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness and Innovation, $150 million to the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunizations, and $200 million to other international and regional health organizations and programs. While the World Health Organization is not specified in the press release, it is interesting to note that this comes on the heels of President Trump's April 14th decision to withhold major US funding for the WHO. In stark contrast to other leaders of the G7 countries who have not only recommitted to continue funding, but several have actually increased their financial support in the wake of the US decision. It should be noted that the US donates more than any other country to the WHO. In fact, they donate over $400 million per year. But President Trump accused the international organization of failing properly to respond and to communicate the degree of threat posed by COVID-19. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and the European Council President Charles Michel said in a joint statement that the G7, which is currently under the presidency of the US, will have to lead the global efforts to rebuild our post-COVID-19 world, and that it should be done in a strong cooperation with existing international organisations and with multilateralism at its core. Dominic Raab, the UK's First Secretary, who is currently standing in for Boris Johnson while the Prime Minister recovers from COVID-19, said that while questions need to be asked and a critical review is in order at a later date, the one thing the coronavirus has taught us is the value and the importance of international cooperation. In total, the Saudi G20 president calls for support in raising another $8 billion to bridge the financial gap indicated by the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunizations to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. For more information on the G7 and G20 global summits, please visit us at groupofnations.com.